Welcome to today's podcast. My name is Fran Hughes, a podcast where we showcase financial advisors who are leading the way. And today's guest is Winnie Driscoll. Winnie is a certified financial planner. She's an author. She's a business and money coach. Her book, 21 Days to Financial Freedom, is printed in Mandarin and is released in Hong Kong, China, and Taiwan. Welcome, Winnie. Well, firstly, let's have a chat about where you're at. How did you become to be a financial planner and this wonderful life that you're leading now in Taipei and spreading the word?
But it is actually a very interesting story. But at the same time, I also noticed that everyone have their own story before they jump into a financial planning role.
Mm-hmm.
So my probably is not going to be any different from others. But when I was in Taiwan, I was running a restaurant and also a couple of the business. And somehow that business was linked with a partnership. And the partnership went sour, so I was the legal owner here. So at the end of the day, when we closed the business, I have a serious debt. And that was equivalent about 100,000 US dollars worth of debt. And it took me about 18 months to pay off the whole debt. And that was a really empowering process. And at that time, I was just thinking that, okay, if I can do it, maybe I can help other people as well. Mm-hmm. And I met my husband around that time, and he encouraged me to move to Australia. And at that time, I still didn't really know what I'm going to do. I never heard of financial planning.
And how long ago was that, Winnie?
That was 6 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I know. So one of my friends who is working in the financial service industry, so he said that, have you heard about financial planning? Because it is such an emerging market. Definitely need to have female to come on board and really help other people to understand the importance of that. And I said, oh, never heard about that, but it definitely aligned with my value because I really want to help other people. Mm-hmm. So there you go. I finished my diploma, finished my advanced diploma, and I got a job in the Big Four, luckily, the first year. And then soon after that, I become a senior and then acting regional manager. And just comes so smoothly. And of course, through the time, I also finished my CFP. That really was a great way for me to really utilize the tools and knowledge to help other people. Mm-hmm. So that's how I get into financial planning.
Goodness me. So it sounds like you took on quite a bit, and I'm really amazed at how accelerated your journey was to go from something that you learned from a practical perspective, suddenly immersing yourself not only in an advanced diploma, but then also getting working a full-time job, and then completing your CFP all at the same time. Could you share with us, how did you juggle all of that?
I guess that I was really lucky because I have a really supportive husband. And compared to a lot of amazing women I know, they have to juggle with life and also kids and full-time job. I definitely think that I'm one of the lucky ones because we don't have children, so we just focus on work and also family. Of course, husband is like a big child. So
don't we know it?
Yeah. But I think that I do believe that if you want to achieve something, you just find the time. Mm-hmm. Lots of people saying that you don't have time. Yes, we don't, because we are equal. We only have 24 hours. But if you decide to do something, you will find the time.
Mm-hmm. So you're on an amazing journey right at this very moment. As you mentioned, that only this morning you were on a radio show. You've written a book. You started your journey here in Australia, but now you find yourself in Taipei
again.
I always get the questions from up and coming advisors. How did you do it? And certainly, how did you find the way to know that that's the right path to take? Tell us a little bit more about that.
I found that it's definitely a challenging thing because no one really knows what's going on. And obviously, some people really know what they are looking for in life. But I think that through the journey running your own business, especially that restaurant, one of the big lesson I learned, like I shared in the radio show today, is when you are doing something, you really need to find the passion and also have the work that is in line with your value.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely didn't find that when I was running a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
But that debt definitely bring the biggest lesson in life, because I was 31 and I got nothing. I just have the huge debt. But through that, I really know that we all are capable of doing something. And at the same time, I also really want to share that experience, not the experience as failure, but sometimes that's also one of the biggest lessons we learn in life. So as a financial planner, I feel like the passion I have is still helping other people to achieve their goals and then be where they want to be in life. And that's a really empowering process. That's why I love about that. But at the same time, I also noticed that the challenge we have is majority people don't really understand the value of what we can present to them or the importance of us. So through the journey being a financial planner, I feel like a lot of time we are doing the education or educator role,
Mm-hmm.
which also in line with what I was doing before as a teacher. So I was doing that teaching role in Taiwan for 15 years, which is also a really, really good tool for me to do and share my knowledge with my clients. And that was coming to the stage, I just thought, you know what, every time when I deal with a client and meet with them, sharing the passion and also what their dream is about, that's one single client and one responsibility. How am I going to approach more people and also help more people to have a real understanding about finance? And that was the very interesting observations, and also all of a sudden there was a wake-up call and just thought, oh, maybe I can just put everything all together and write a book about it. And everything all started from that restaurant.
That's for most of us, it's the lessons we learn along the way that give us the depth of knowledge to be able to impart that knowledge onto to others. And from a client's perspective, if you have that depth of knowledge, then you have that real connection. They're looking for, firstly, the ability to trust you. Secondly, do you have the credibility? And thirdly, are you the right person for me?
Yeah.
To take me through what I need to do.
Exactly.
So it sounds like you've gone from coaching one-to-one as a financial planner to now coaching one-to-many.
Yes.
Being an author, tell us a little bit about if someone wanted to write a book today, what is the first step they need to take?
I probably would say that don't. Have you wrote a book yourself? Because I know that you are doing a lot of publicity yourself as well.
Yes. Well, the experiences we can share, isn't it? Firstly, it's the time commitment to impart what we naturally have here in our brains onto paper.
Yeah.
That's step one.
Yes, true. And I found that especially writing is a very interesting process. Sometimes it could be quite daunting because you are pretty much isolate yourself so that you can let all the knowledge flow out of your piece of paper. It is, I found it's a really astounding, but at the same time also very interesting experience. Again, something learned from the experience. When I go through that writing process, it actually also trying to organize my thoughts, because we do have many, many thoughts in life. And sometimes how are we going to articulate things properly? It is through our thinking process. And through writing, I actually found that is also another way to learn how to organize things all properly. Mm-hmm. So in a way, that's also a very nice way of learning in life.
Congratulations, Winnie. That's just an amazing step. I mean, there are not many authors within our community, but there is certainly more and more of them imparting their knowledge from their knowledge base right through to paper. You know, if I
Yeah.
was to give anyone any advice around stepping into that space of being an author, is start writing blogs. Even if you get into
Yes.
that habit of writing a blog a week, it's then getting into that habit of imparting knowledge from what you have in your head onto paper. And then
Yes.
so writing a 200-page book becomes a lot easier, doesn't it? It's 200
Yeah.
blogs.
Yeah. People, isn't it saying that practice makes perfect?
Mhm.
No one is naturally being a writer. No one is naturally being a public speaker. But
Mhm.
you have to start from somewhere. And you're right about that. Writing a blog, even though the blog could be few hundred words or it could be 1,000 words, but you are starting to build that skills.
Mm.
So same as that book that I was doing, I started from a simple idea, and then I saw that why do people hesitate on coming to professionals or understand about finance? The common thing is because I don't understand, it's complicated, or I don't really have any relationship with that. It is just too far away from me. So they have so many rejections. So
Mm.
right away, I'm just thinking that how am I going to make it more approachable, more warmth, more friendly, so people will feel comfortable approaching. So I thought, okay, maybe I can use some kind of conversational way to articulate what I try to say. So I just put that into a small chapters. And when I put all the structures and also ideas all together, all of a sudden it become somewhere around 21 chapters. And somehow there was a theory back in 1960 by American doctor, author, I think his name is Wealth,
Mhm.
Maxwell, and he said that it is you need to have 21 days to form a new habit.
Mm.
And I just thought, ding, okay, light bulb moment. So if I decide 21 chapters as a 21 conversations, you can just digest each subject in the bite-sized knowledge each day and then just follow that process per day. After 21 days, maybe you are going to have a completely new approach to your money, which is also very important for your life.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I love that. Creating a new habit after 21 days, it just means starting a new habit. It's like embarking on a fitness program, isn't it? You
Yes,
know what you want to achieve at the end, but it's just those little things, the small steps that actually
yes,
allows you to gain your bigger goal.
yes,
So,
yes.
Winnie, you're on the FPAWA chapter committee. You are currently in Taipei. You've been
Yeah,
a financial planner for 6 years, and now
yeah,
you find yourself, spreading the word about financial literacy. I hear your book is also in Mandarin. Is that right?
yes,
And
yes. So it is in Mandarin, yes, and it is actually published in China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Malaysia, and Singapore at the same time.
wow.
Yeah,
And
really
so,
exciting.
what does your schedule look like for the next 90 days?
Some workshops, some traveling for sure, meet and greets, and also some of the radio shows and magazines, interviews, things like that.
Great. And
Yeah.
when will we see you back in Perth? So if with the FEM Advisor Global Community, we'll be launching our live events soon. And so we'd love to have you back in Australia soon.
Oh, I would love to. I'm actually going back at the end of Jan because I am going to attend my citizenship ceremony on
Wow.
Australian Day. Woohoo! I'm going to be
Congratulations.
buzzing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be there for a month, and hopefully around that time we can also catch up and then brainstorm some ideas and then really find some synergies to
Mm,
work things together and help out other women, which is
mm.
also one of the things that I'm passionate about.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got such a great community of women.
Yeah,
What I truly believe though, is that we're not being seen. And because we're not being seen, we
Yeah.
seem to be the minority. However, in just embarking into this space, there are more and more and more and more women out there. In fact, Singapore is just about to come on live. I'll be in Singapore from the 10th to the 13th of January, and there is a community of female advisors there as well.
Oh,
So,
excellent.
so we've got so many groups, in Singapore, in Perth, in New South Wales, in Victoria, and I love to see more and more female advisors show up and be seen.
Yeah, that would be great. So let me know the time. I would definitely find the time to attend.
Fabulous. Thanks again for being on the show, Winnie. We're really looking forward to seeing what's possible with you. And of course, look to connect with you on LinkedIn and the various times that you're back in Perth. Thanks again. Bye for now.